guys, good morning. How are you all doing? Guys, I just got up. I've been waking up late. Well, I just got up, but I woke up very early. But I just got up, guys. I'm eating my breakfast, just some tea, and as we call it in Jamaica, some Sunday Monday. And I'm having here some sorrel drink that I made and was in the fridge. How are you all doing? How are you all? This beautiful Monday morning. It's looking so bright and beautiful outside. How are you? In your neck of the woods, wherever you are. I'm here drinking my tea. Guys, have you ever worked on something that you know nothing about? You're trying to do something, but you've never gone into that area before. You've never gone into that field before. Never ever. You're really flying blind, guys. I'm flying blind. I'm gonna be flying blind, guys. Blind, blind, blind. You know, you do your research. You may read about it. You may even take a course about it. But nothing beats like actual experience, guys. Guys, I'm going into an area where I don't even have somebody to mentor me, who have been there before, who have had the experience, you know. Because when you have experience, guys, nothing beats that. You can go and you can take a course, but it won't teach you everything, guys. Some of the things that you're going to encounter on a daily basis are some of the things that, you know, are in your current environment that is going to affect your business, and somebody have been through it or somebody have just gone through it. Reading a book is not going to tell you. Sometimes going on social media, going to YouTube Academy, you know, to go and do research, most of the times it's not going to tell you that, guys. And so it's very hard, especially when you are going into something that you will be fronting money, you'll be spending money, and you also be receiving people's money, and you know, it's your first time, you're not very sure. It's very daunting. It's a feeling, you're very nervous. I'm nervous, guys. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I don't know what I'm doing, so I have to be nervous, and I don't have anybody to say, hey, is this how I do this? You know? I don't know. Do I really want to get into it? Yes, I do. I do want to try it. But is there risk involved? Yes. Very risky, guys. Very risky. And it's going to have a certain amount of frustration. Yeah, because I actually will not know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. Guys, I'm drinking my tea. Have you had breakfast? Have you had breakfast yet, guys? I am just here, as I said, eating what we call in Jamaica Sunday Monday. Guys, this is when the food is really sweet. When everything has been marinated, all the flavors have come fully marinated, matured, and fully come together. So it's So sweet, guys. It's better than yesterday. Guys, I'm sitting here. As a matter of fact, I was laying down this morning and I was reminiscing, remembering when I was about to come to Canada. And guys, I was at work and I was working and my coworker that was working beside me and beside my desk, I said to her, no, let's go to Canada together. And she says to me, you know what, I have an uncle that lives in Canada and I think I want to go, but I've been asking him about Canada, but he doesn't seem so positive, you know. So she says she wants to go and see what it is like. So she's going to apply for a visitor's visa to go, and that she think I too can apply for a visitor's visa. I said, okay. Guys, I applied for a visitor's visa for myself and my son at the same time. I gave the people over 3 million Jamaican dollars, a bank statement with over 3 million Jamaican dollars. I gave them my job letter. My son is a minor. He was in high school at the time. And I said, okay, I think this is enough ties to say, you know. I also indicated that I own my own home. I said, this is enough ties, put the application in. Guys, I was so disappointed when I went to pick up back my passport and saw that they didn't approve my visa. When I looked at the reasons why they said they didn't approve it, they said my son didn't have any ties, didn't have any financial whatever. I'm saying, this child is underage. What kind of financial situation do you want him to have? He's underage now. The money that I sent, because the application was for me to go and spend a 2-week vacation with me and my son in Canada with my cousin. And I'm saying, what's going on with Canadian government? What's going on? They denied the visa. The money that I had on the bank statement was enough to cover both of us for the 2-week visit, you know. As a matter of fact, it is enough to cover both of us if we decided to stay for a year, you know. And I just got so discouraged. I got discouraged, guys, so discouraged. While the visa application was in process, I started to look on schools in Canada to see if I could apply, because I wanted to apply for a school and come to Canada as a student. So I had started looking around, really started looking around and doing the research for that process. When I got the news, about the visa. I'm saying to myself, you're not giving me a visa. I just want to come for 2 weeks. I don't want to waste my money, because coming to Canada is a lot of money, guys. You have to front a lot of money. For most people, you have to front a lot of money. So I said, you know what? I'm going to have to send in $1 million and plus towards the first year school fee. Plus I'm going to have to be showing them how I'm going to live for the duration of my study. So at the time, I think you had to send like $1.5 million just to show them that you can take care of yourself for the duration of your study. And I'm saying, I don't want to lose my money, because sending in the visa application for both myself and my son, I had lost like almost $50,000. You know, almost $50,000, because we did biometrics. We had to pay money for that. Both of us did biometrics. We took pictures. The monies towards the application plus the actual application itself. I was so upset. And I did not, after they turned me down for the visa application, I did not put in the application for the study permit. About 6 months after, my same friend came to me and she said, I am putting in my application for my study permit, and a colleague of ours who was working on a different building on the same campus, because we all worked at a university, she said she's also putting in her application and both of us are going. Do you want to come? Do you want to put in your application as well? I said no. You know what? I'm going to take my money and I'm going to buy a piece of land. I'm going to invest in a piece of land. Guys, that's exactly what I did. I took the money that I had at the time and I went looking for land, and I found a piece and I paid down on it. It's a good percentage. I paid for the land. I paid down on the land. I said, you know what? This land here, I can see it, I can feel it. I'm not going to lose my money. I'm not going to no Canada. I can lose my money, oh, I don't want to lose my money. That's what I did, guys. That's what I did. And that was back in 2016. A couple months after she told me, you know, I got through for the States, whatever, she told me what she did. And her friend didn't have the money. This is what happened. She applied first. She had money in her bank account, everything. So she was able to show a statement that she could afford to live and stay in Canada for the duration of her study. But her friend didn't have the money. So what she did, when she applied first and she heard back from the Canadian government that they had approved her study permit, she then withdrew her money from her account and put it in her friend's bank account to show, so her friend can show a statement that as if she had money when she really didn't have any. She was just, she was just helping her friend. And that's how that friend was able to come to Canada. A couple months after, they were here in Canada. 2 years after that, I reached out to her. I said, you know what? I think I make up my mind now. I think I want to come. And she walked me through the process, guys. She didn't tell me everything that I needed to know. Some things she didn't tell me. I make sure that while I am here and persons who are reaching out to me from home, that I am telling them what it's really like here. Because she didn't really tell me what's really like. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I guess everybody is different. Like, a lot of people will be coming on live. This is my Sunday, Monday. Oh, I'm eating this for my breakfast. This is what I would be eating in my off camera. I don't see why I can't eat it on camera. Please, I don't care about anybody. I don't care what you want to say. This is my food. Oh, a lot of people can't afford food. This is my food. It's very expensive, right? So some people, if it's not a traditional breakfast, they wouldn't be having it just like this. That doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit, right? So she didn't really tell me. I'm just saying to say that everybody is different. People are different. People have different views about different things. So she really didn't tell me, give me a balanced view of what it was like here in the Canadian environment. And so when I came, the culture shock really hit me hard. But anyways, guys, we're backing up a little. So yeah, she sort of guided me to the process in terms of the application. And yeah, she made me know that I had to do a lot of reading. And so that is exactly what I did. I went on the Canadian website and I did a lot of reading. I went on IRCC website. I read so much. I think I overread. I was even on YouTube watching them, and she said to me, make sure anything that you're gonna be taking as something that you have to do, like if you have to fill a form and you want a template of how to fill the form, you want a copy or an example of how to fill this form, make sure you're taking it from the Canadian website. If you want to take it from YouTube, fine, but make sure you cross-check it with the Canadian website, the official Canadian website. And that is exactly what I did. Guys, I sat down. Most of my application was done at my desk in my office, guys. Right on the job there. I sat down and made my application. Right? I filled in my forms. I gathered my documents, all my documents. And I made an appointment at the Jamaican High Commission. And I went in. And they checked I printed my application. Guys, I was not sending an online application. Guys, up to now, I'm not a technical person. I'm not an online person. So I try to stay away. So at the time, I had the option to do an online application. But I chose to do a paper application. So I printed down the forms that I had filled out, took all my documents that I had gathered, and I took it to the interview with me. When I went to the interview at the Jamaica High Commission, Canadian High Commission in Jamaica, the agent went through my application forms. She went through all my documents and she told me what I needed to do, what was correct, what was not correct. Guys, all my forms were correct. Everything was okay, right? Anyways, I paid for the application, went online, paid for the application, submitted the application. I had already done my biometrics, right? And I had the information for the biometrics. Also submitted that, plus the center would have sent it off to IRCC. And I sat down and I waited. Guys, at the time, like when I was leaving, within my department alone, there were 3 persons that left to migrate to Canada, and all 3 persons within the same year. It's not a big department. Maybe it's about, say, 30 of us. 3 out of 30 had gone to study in Canada, and I was the 4th person. Guys. Guys, I left because I was there working for 12 years. I reached the point that I was enjoying what I was doing, because I was not only an admin support, but I was also assisting with coordination of a program, which I really, really love, because guys, I really like dealing with people. I don't know about you, but sometimes it's rough, it's hard, depending on the area that you are, it's hard. But I thoroughly enjoyed my job back home, working on the program. It was a scholarship program for youths who did not have the opportunity to go to university. And they were provided a scholarship from the government, a fully paid scholarship, guys. When you say fully paid, tuition, books, accommodation, everything. And I worked on that project. I thoroughly enjoyed the project. And the project gave me an opportunity to even travel overseas to represent my university and my country. I went to Mexico, guys, the year before I came here. I went to Mexico in 2018 on a work project. Yeah, I came here in 2019. So I thoroughly enjoyed my job. However, this is a big part of it now. However, the economics didn't make any sense, right? For a lot of us persons who are sitting, maybe you're watching this and you're in your own country. Maybe this is exactly what you're going through. I was underemployed. I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't getting enough money for what I was doing because the economy was bad. And the persons that were earning more than me, or they were in a position that was a little higher than me, they're not leaving their jobs, guys. Most of those persons, they will sit in those jobs until they retire. So there was no scope for promotion. So that is why persons were leaving left, right, and center. Because under the current economy, you realize, if you can envision and see what's going on, you realize that economically, you're not going to be able to manage 5-10 years down the road. Right? You're not going to be able to manage. You have to change something. Is either you're going to try and do a business in Jamaica, which is very hard to do because the taxation and the inflation rate is so high, or you're going to migrate and try somewhere else. So when I looked around, that's what I saw, and that is why I decided to migrate, guys. And I just, within a couple months, right, I received the approval that my permit was approved, and I knew that, yes, I'm coming, I'll be going and stuff. I gave my notice to my job, everything, and I just started preparing myself for the journey, for coming, everything. Guys, I should have come to Canada in 2016. I didn't arrive in Canada until the 28th of August 2019. And I'm saying this to say, guys, that sometimes you have your plans, but it is not the right time. It's not the right time, guys. Guys, when I came here, and it's not the right time for many reasons. Sometimes we can't foresee down the road. We don't know what is going to happen to us. We don't know the reasons. We don't know what is going to happen. Guys, I came almost in the height of COVID. Guys, I left my country and I came almost a couple months before COVID. Guys, when I came, in terms of housing, I was renting one room from this Jamaican who was living in Manitoba, was living in Winnipeg for a number of years. He was teaching at a university, and he had a big house downtown, and he rented out the rooms to, most of us were Canadian, most of us were Jamaicans, and you had one and two African girls that were there. And I stayed there for almost a year, and then I moved to an apartment building that because while I was there, he didn't have any laundry, guys. Can you imagine? In the middle of winter, guys, you would have to be packing. I find myself, I have to be packing bags, garbage, pack this big garbage bag. I have a big hiking bag. Even though I bring my hiking bag wherever, most of the time I bring my hiking bag because I feel so comfortable with it on my back. I have another backpack, but I feel comfortable with that one because I can drop almost anything in it, right? It's so roomy, it's big, it's very reliable. If I'm going to the supermarket, that's what I put on when I was there. Because if I'm going to the supermarket, guys, I don't live far from the supermarket. I'm not going to call a cab. So I will take my backpack to the supermarket. I'll pack what I buy, I pack what I need, and I put it in my backpack. Guys, I had to leave there because it was getting to me. When you want to do laundry, you have to be packing up your clothes and making 2-3 trips per day. If you decide that, okay, I'm going to wash today, you've got to go to the laundromat. So walking 10 minutes to the laundromat in snow with big bags and 10 minutes back 2-3 times for the day is not very, very conducive, and it's not. So I decided to leave, guys. So I found I found housing somewhere else at an apartment where I lived in a tiny, guys, very tiny studio, 1-bedroom studio unit. I had everything to myself, but the studio unit was so tiny. Guys, they said it was semi-furnished. So they gave you with a bed. Guys, the bed that I have, it was 2 bed in one. It was the, you know, the standard double bed at the bottom and the 3/4 bed at the top. So it had the staircase where you can go up. But it was me alone, guys. But that is how the rooms came. That is how some of the rooms came, furnished. If I wanted to, I could have asked them to remove the bed and put my own bed in. But because the bottom bed was already a double bed, I just left it there. Guys, can you imagine? You want to do something. You want to go private. You want to have sex, guys. And you have 1 bed down, 1 bed up. Because, guys, if I'm sitting on the bed, right? If I'm sitting on the bed, there is hardly enough space. There's enough space for me to just sit on the bed. Yeah? I couldn't even stand or even raise myself up because my head would be hitting on the mattress at the bed above. Guys, I stayed in that tiny apartment maybe for a year, right? Before moving on to another apartment in the same building. I asked the property manager to transfer me to another apartment, and one came up. It was a little bigger and it was the same rent. I said, what? He said, yes, it's the same rent. I couldn't believe that it was the same rent. And that was a bit more comfortable. And I stayed there, guys, for another 2 years. Now, this housing that I had gotten is for immigrants and refugees that are coming to this country. Because I was not a refugee, and because I didn't have certain status, because at the time I was still on my, when I moved, I was transitioning. When I moved there, I was transitioning from a student permit to a work visa. So while I was there, I was on work visa. Because I didn't have status and just a work visa, I would not be able to get housing. Even though I was there as an immigrant, I would not be able to get certain housing from the government. So I had to pay, the rent that I was paying was not a rent that other persons that were there were paying. It was like the same rent that I would pay outside. But I was getting the services. So in my rent, I didn't have to pay electricity, I didn't have to pay heat, I didn't have to pay water, I didn't have to pay Wi-Fi, I didn't have to pay laundry, guys. Not even a cent. I didn't pay laundry. Guys, normally when you live in an apartment, you have to pay, what they give you is a coin card, and you go to the machine and top up that card. Whether you want to pay put $30, $40, $50, $100, $10, it's up to you. You have to top up, guys. Or if they don't give you the card, you have to buy coins and use it, like how you go to the laundromat and you have the coins and you have to use it to go and wash. I didn't have to do any of that, guys. None of that. I just go, open the washroom, laundry room, put my clothes in, put my detergent in, and I just wash my clothes. If it's not dry, like those big thick sweaters and blankets, I just put them back in, dry them again. No money, no cost. So I had those services at my disposal, right? But the rent itself was comparable to the rent that was outside. Of course, there were persons that were there who were not paying this amount, but were paying far less amount, right? And another thing is that they would go to, they get a lot, because they're a government agency, they get a lot of funding, right? And they get a lot of food, guys, from the different organizations. They would also be a part of the, what is called the Winnipeg Harvest. Is it Manitoba Harvest? Winnipeg Harvest, I think. It's called the Winnipeg Harvest. It's an organization that collects foods, and when they collect the food, they redistribute it to organizations, and individuals collect it. So if you are a student and you can bring your ID, you can prove that, hey, I'm a student, I am in need of this food, then you can get the food. So you go, sometimes depending on where you go, you can pick up what you want. The food is all over. They place them strategically in a room, and they can tell you, okay, go and pick up what you want. Sometimes they will say to you, okay, you have to pick 5-10 items, and then one of each of everything. And then there are some items like meat, they will hold on to it, and then they will say, okay, you can get 1 chicken, you can get 1 beef, and 1 pork. Understand? They don't put it out for you to take that. Guys. And so they offer that. So on a particular day, you know, every Tuesday, every second Tuesday, if you're, because at the time I used to work from home, you would hear them coming. They would be pushing a cart in the corridor, and you will hear them coming. Hello, hello, come and get your food. Come and get your food. Come on outside. And guys, I will just go, take my grocery bags and go. And then he will say, okay, pack what you want. And you pack what you want. And you go in your room. That's it. So I had those kind of services at my disposal at the time. Because it's a government organization, guys, you're allowed to stay there for 3 years. Because it's really supposed to be a program to help newcomers to settle in the country. And so I was long past I was at my 3 years, going 3.5 years. So the manager said, you know what, you have to leave because you have to make room for other persons. And really, during the time that I was there, most people only stay there for a year or a couple months, you know. But honestly, I like the place. I really like the place. I went to look for a friend of mine on Saturday. She was also, I met her there. She was living at the place. She was there before I went there. And then a year after, they had asked her to leave because it was long overdue. She was supposed to leave, but she was such a good tenant, you know. But they kept asking her to leave because it's their policy. Like, they even shouldn't even overextend. They overextended her time. And then new management was coming on, so you know they had no choice, but they had to ask her to leave. So she too also left. But I left, and I left in 2024, and I went to live in the northern part of the city. Guys, I was living in the northern part of the city. And then before I left, I didn't want to leave. Before I left, the vision that I had in my head was that I would save some money and that I would buy a house before I leave and just leave directly into my house. That's exactly what I wanted to do, but it didn't work out that way. So I had to leave and then rent an apartment. It was a very nice apartment. It's just that it was kind of a little far, you know, from downtown. And that's what I like about downtown. It was so central, guys. So central. You know, I could just say, I'm going to the ethnic store. And then I just put my clothes on, put my coat on, put my shoes on. And 4 minutes walk, guys. 4 minutes walk, I would be at the ethnic store. That is how central it was. If I wanted to go downtown, like in the center of downtown, I had choices. 2 minutes, I'm at the bus stop. And then I have about 4 or 5 different buses that I can take to go downtown. I just jump on any bus in any direction. And I can go, I'm downtown in no time. I'm down in the center of downtown in no time. I'm there, you know. It was so central. Goods and services were central. I could walk to the supermarket. I could, you know, where I'm living, guys, I cannot walk to the supermarket. Oh, I can't walk to anywhere. I have to drive. So while I was there in the north, I started the process of, buying my own home and stuff, which I did, and that's where I am now. So guys, I was just telling you a little story time. Yes, a little story time of my journey here, moving from house to house, moving from house to house, guys, from the different places that I live. I like the north too. I like it. Where I am living now, it's the north was more accessible than here, because at the north, in the north, I could go to the supermarket, I could go to superstore. It would take me around 12 minutes walk, but I could walk to superstore, and I could take another 7 minutes walk to Freshco supermarket. There was a plaza that was nearby, Dollarama, all those stores, a lot of stores were nearby. Yeah. Guys, I have to drive everywhere. Guys, I have to be driving home. But that is okay. I like my area where I live. It's good. Yeah, it's very good. So guys, if you decide to come to Canada, right, and something happens, you can, maybe it's just not the right time for you, you can try again. Because that's exactly what I did. I was supposed to come to Canada 3 years before I actually landed in Canada. That was the plan, for me to come from 2016. But it never worked out. I changed my mind, guys. I decided not to come. Maybe it's all for the good. I don't know what could have happened at the time. When I came in 2019 and I was going to school, I went to Red River College. I did a 1-year program. And for more than half of the time at Red River College, we did online classes, guys. And we basically taught ourselves for those months that we were under COVID. It was not easy. The thing about it is they didn't change the curriculum for that. They kept the same curriculum, but we had to teach ourselves. But guys, I made it through. Yeah, I made it through. And I'm here now, facing new challenges. New challenges, new obstacles, guys. So, you too can make it through. Don't change your, if you change your mind, you must know there must be a good reason for you to change your mind. Just remember that you can try again and it can work out, because that's exactly what happened to me. And I'm here sitting down now, talking to you and telling you, a part of the journey. Guys, I'm gonna come off now because I have things to do as usual. Guys, I'm on sick leave, but I always have things to do. Always have things to do, guys. I always have things to do. I always, I try to keep myself busy. Yeah, and as I said, I'll be going in uncharted waters. I don't know what I'm doing, guys, but I'm doing. Just like when I was coming to Canada, I didn't have any friends here. I didn't have any family here. I know I am coming, and I am coming. Yeah. So, I'm going to finish eating my breakfast. And I'm going to sit down here and try and sort out something that I don't have a clue about. Guys, help! I don't have a clue about, guys. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try it. If I try it and I fail, that's it. But somehow, guys, I don't think I'm going to fail. I don't think I'm going to fail, guys. I'm too persistent. I don't think I'm going to fail. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm doing something, it's like that I really want to do, it's like it consumes me. Yeah, there are days when, I get frustrated and I cannot be bothered. But 2 hours after that, I'm back at it and I'm trying it again. That's how I am. I'm very, very persistent. Guys, enough of me. I'm going to finish eating my Sunday Monday. I'm going to warm my tea because it's cold. And I'm going to drink my sorrel juice, take my supplements, and start my day. I have to go downstairs, finish up, come back. But I think I'm going to eat and then go online directly before I go downstairs. Downstairs, it's not going to take me long, maybe half an hour. Then guys, my garage is flooding. My garage is flooded. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to do a live when I'm going out because I'm going on the road. So when I'm going on the road, I'm going to put my live on. I'm going to show you. My garage is flooded, guys. The garage bed, the flooring of the garage is almost in line with the flooring of the back lane. That's crazy. Yeah. So that had needed to be adjusted. Guys, when I was buying the house, I came here, and when I came here with the, what you call those people who show houses, I don't remember what they are called, right? I said, when I went to the garage, I saw the water, and I said to her, oh, the roof is leaking. And she says, no, the roof is not leaking. It is because the snow is backed up on the outside, the driveway coming in. She said, the snow is backed up out there, and there's nobody who's clearing the snow. That's why the water is in the garage. So I said, oh, but guys, that is not so. The water is in the garage because the bed of the garage, the ground, is too much in line, almost in line with the roadway, right? The roadway around the back there. So when, like now, the snow is melting, guys, because it's, well, they say it's not winter, but it's spring. As far as I'm concerned, please, oh, it's winter. As long as I can see snow, it's winter. That is me, right? It's still winter for me, guys. The snow is melting on the streets, coming down from everybody's yard, coming down on this, and even on the street itself, the back lane itself. So, when the temperature drops and the snow starts to melt and the water starts to come, it rises and back up in the garage. So guys, that's a project I have to take on. I'll have to fix it before winter next year. I can't make winter come, and I'm having it because it's gonna flood and I don't like it. Because right now, guys, if I'm going into the garage, I have to be taking my time to step, and I'm so afraid because I don't want to fall again, because I'll be walking on water and ice. So that is something that had needed to be adjusted before I even bought the property, or that is something that I should be made aware of and not make it seem as if, oh, it is just something that needs to be cleared up. It's because the snow isn't cleared and whatever. No, it's not because no snow is not cleared. It needs adjusting. Guys, when I stand and look at other people's, like the entry to their backyard, even before they enter the garage, that driving, like if you're driving out from the road in upon that little ramp there, it's higher. It's much higher. Mine is almost in line with the road. So I know that this house was having that problem from a long time. It's not just now. They know of the problem. But that was hidden from me when I was buying the house. Right? They know of the problem, guys. They know of that problem. So there are so many things that I have to take care of. So I'm going to do a video of that when I'm leaving to go on the road. Until then, guys, walk good and stay blessed, and I'll see you in another video or another live. Bye.